But we are getting into game number 2 here on Erangel. It's back to Poro, it's back to Xenox for all the action. Let's go.
And we are back here for game number 2 of the final day of the PUBG Global Championship semifinals. I am Porosaurus, and joining me again is Xenox. We had a great first game there. North America coming in clutch in game 1. Is it going to be a repeat of Saturday or Friday? Another day of the West?
Yeah, you say that. Friday was the day of the West. Saturday was the day of the East. And today is then, I guess, the West again.
You know, that's the
we could go south, north. Who's north? Do we even have north?
We
I don't know.
North.
I don't know. Penguins are not here, I guess.
No penguins to be found.
Nonsense.
But there are ghost gamers to be found as we check in on those boys. And T1 had a nice little spot there early on. They end up getting kind of surrounded and sandwiched by AFF and Red Cannons.
They're doing all right.
A little bit early, but not a bad game for them.
They're doing all right. That's all I'm going to say. I don't think there's much more you can really say about T1. They're just coasting along, all right? They're not being flashy. QM, obviously having the exchange with 4AM in Yasnaya. They are still in with a chance of making it to Oakland, but a lot of work to do for them. Same can be said for Red Cannons. If I'm correct, actually, they're almost on the same amount of points, and Red Cannons are like 1 or 2 points outside of the top 16 right now, and we know what they're capable of in terms of being able to collect points for the rest of the day. AHQ barely holding on, Poro.
Yeah, pretty solid day so far for those squads. AHQ, though, needs to kind of step it up a little bit here as we head in to match number 2. Got a nice plane cutting down from the north to the south of the island, favoring a little bit west. We'll have to see what our teams that we're keeping an eye on decide to do. So we saw what FaZe did last time, opting towards a western coast drop. Do we think they stay with this again? I mean, they can't get to Milta this time.
I honestly don't know. They might go to military base.
Could be anything.
What I do know is probably everyone else is most likely going to go to their usual drop locations. It is FaZe that's the one that is shuffling about in terms of their drop locations at the moment.
And you know, obviously there's a lot of teams.
I think it might be military.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams in here that we all want to keep. We want to make sure we keep an eye on everybody. But this is FaZe Clan. This is the team that had so much expectations on them coming into this, and that is a lot of teams going over there to Military Island.
Yeah, Afrika Freaks, TSM, and FaZe Clan. Welcome to Sosnovka Island.
Okay. Well, you know, this is something that TSM has already shown that they're willing to do. If they can't get to Milta base off the plane, they'll drop on Military Island and just loot up in the base. FaZe has done this in the past as well.
Are we going to get a milli-circle?
So this is, and you know, this is kind of an AFF again. What are we going to do? Oh, please be a milli-circle.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Zaki circle. Not
okay. That is a lot. That is a lot rough.
One day we will get a Zaki circle. It will happen.
It might. Hey, you know, you never know. It might be this one. It might be this one. But that is not a lot of people in that early circle. Or T1 rather, looking really nice in that North George location. SST feeling pretty comfortable as well. GEX in the South George spot. Tempo should be pretty happy with this too. This is one that they're used to playing. So it's going to be. I'm wondering if we're going to see teams go for the hills, the North George hills here early. Are we going to commit to the north side, or are we thinking that this might still cut south?
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting proposition because you're right, it can go north and south here. So do you play Everest this early on, try and get some information on the south side in anticipation potentially for the circle to go south from here onwards? I think north has got more of the predominant circle side at the moment, so I think you want to, best case scenario is obviously run a 2-2 split here.
Yeah.
And I think one of the better 2-2 splits that you could potentially run is potentially Georgia Paul Bridge if you're a team like GEX or T1. You're already in Georgia Paul, so it is a valid option.
Yeah. And then you got to keep in mind as well, you know, we got 3 teams on military base. You've got all the teams that work the coastline and Vendetta, W-Click, and Sting Divine right now. you know, at any point, any of these teams, the timing of their rotations could find themselves off a little bit.
So I just want to point out in terms of the leaderboard that you can see on the left-hand side of your screen, if a team is got a grey icon to the left, it means, of course, they were in Group B, which means they're done. They're just sitting there watching nervously today. And if they obviously got a red icon, it means they are in playing today for Group A or Group C.
So infantry still in it.
Well, for now.
No, the hope is still alive.
I think infantry is going to drop out.
Look, not with that attitude. Okay, yeah,
pretty likely.
They're in it. They're in it. They're good. As we check on AFF, they eventually, I guess, opted for the vehicles. They're going to go ahead and loot up mill to power. Probably take their time with things. They are not unaccustomed to eating a little bit of blue damage and coming in late, so this might be what we see them do this time around.
Wrap on the eastern side of Erangel and then push up north, come in through Severny sort of around the beach, and then crash north of this circle, or, you know, by the time they get there, it'll be phase 2.
Interested to see what
Freak of Freaks.
Yeah, interested to see what Vendetta decides to do here. This is going to be one of the rare opportunities that they have, that they don't have to worry about TSM just off to their east. So they can kind of play this how they want to and not have to be too concerned about getting run up on by somebody who's been killing me all the time. So see, Sophia could take a few shots. This is all popping off over here by the cube. It looks like QM might have made a run here, but GEX getting here just a little bit ahead.
Interesting decision for GEX. You know, you look at the teams that were around Georgia Paul, GEX, T1, and sort of their decision-making is always going to be interesting with these sort of circles. They get essentially first choice in terms of the positions around these areas. As you said, going for cube, and I think what they wanted to take was that 2-2 split, 2 at cube, 2 on the other side.
There's a nice little split there. We do have Easy coming in, bringing up the rear. Overseeing all of this really is Tempo Storm, and then you have Red Canids coming and trying to make a play here. Arguably late. I mean, it's 5 minutes in.
Leo, do we go for a seat swap? No, just a couple of toots and some waves as Andy goes past Leo. It's all friendly.
Yeah, very, very nice to let them know, hey, you know, maybe don't cross this bridge. I said, you know what, sir, I don't think I will.
Tempo Storm going to be crossing the other bridge to the north, Georgia Paul. They get over safely. Decent spot for Tempo Storm. QM holding just to their northeast. T1 deciding that this is going to go north. They've committed north completely. Yeah, Sun Sister as well, committing north. Lazarus have rotated up to Severny, 4 AM. Going north side of the river.
Yeah, and it looks like Lazarus might actually find themselves a crate again. And here we go, Purdy. These boys getting some crate luck early on here. Now
Circle luck in game 1, crate luck game 2.
Yeah, we'll take it all day long. As FaZe looks like they have started their transition out of military. TSM still down there. AFF still late looting in Milta, as we kind of expected. Ghost and Vendetta also a little bit late on the transition here. We'll have to see where they decide to go.
And they'll go up east side into the north again of the river. I think you'll see quite a few teams will commit more north here.
We've got the 2 bridges that look like being held by Tempo and GEX right in the dead center. The West Georgia Bowl bridge is free and clear, and it looks like everything east of Razak, as far as bridges, is also clear right now. So should be making for some easier transitions for all these latecomers.
Wonder if 4 AM might just hold up at the crash plane for now. See Vendetta and Ghost coming through the South Yasnaya Fields. Freak of Freaks still over at Milta. TSM now making their way out of the military base, and for FaZe, they'll go up the west coast. Predominantly, I would assume they'll play the south end of this circle. As for W-Click, they're going to take a boat.
Why not?
And this works perfectly, because in a minute and a half we'll find out most likely if we're going north or south, or at least get a better idea of the picture. And W-Click can choose from the boat, essentially. Crazy Sam, shots on Awayless. Oh, a lot of shots landing from Viet Chan. Knocked down onto Awayless. Not a good start again for 4 AM. 2 games in a row. Certainly not continuing their domination from what we saw on Saturday.
Yeah, 4 AM getting a little greedy coming in there. Very late diving for the center of this northern area here. As you see Shilu actually now in the sights of Lazarus.
Luke hits these.
Luke hits these all day long. Yep.
Well, Purdy
hits them too.
Purdy hits them too. They both do. And 4 angry men are down to 2.
And they are also very spread out. You see ZGG is just going to hide out in this little shack. Meanwhile, Forever has made his way more off to the northwest. He does have a vehicle. It looks like he might consider repositioning. But yeah, 4 a.m. now down to 2. As we said, a little bit greedy.
And this is probably bad news for a lot of teams because they would have been hoping and even potentially suspecting that 4 a.m. would have been soaking up points and making it more top heavy, therefore allowing a bit more freedom in terms of that 16th position being lower on points. But if we start to see a spread of points, 16, 15, 14 might end up being a higher cutoff than we might have suspected coming into today, expecting 4 a.m. TSM to continue to soak points.
Yeah, this is what we were talking about. This is why it was so hard and difficult, really, to really peg down
Here we go, phase
cutoff
2.
time.
Oh.
Here's phase 2.
Oh, yes.
We're gonna go up north. We're going to Zarky.
Well, you say Zarky, but I'm still thinking this will be North Georgia Paul Fields. Forever's actually sent it right over there as well. Time to rotate. If you were on the south side of the river, you definitely want to start moving now.
Like if you say it's gonna go to Zarky, it's gonna go to Zarky here. It's ZGG gonna take some shots from Gaba as he makes his way through on the motorcycle. He should be okay. Forever though is in the spot that Sun Sister wants.
This is really bad for 4 a.m. They wanted this position. They got here first, but now Sun Sister coming in to claim it for themselves. They've got the numbers. Crazy Sam, though, probably doesn't realize that Forever is here. Holds an aggressive angle, expecting Sun Sister to start to try and clear out the compound. He might actually back off from this, although Forever has been hanging around and did pull up. So they've got 2 here for 4 a.m. But they're obviously completely outnumbered, and Sun Sister are playing this cautiously, like they should.
They are outnumbered, but we have seen the things that Forever and ZGG are capable of doing. So they have a little bit of hard cover, and it looks like Gaba might have caught caught vision there just a little bit.
There's a bit of bridge camping happening at Georgia Paul between HQ and Sting Divine. Headshot from Mill. Can't find the knockdown. Yes, he can. Now Levi's and Nikki are coming in as well. The after party arrive in the UAZ in the buggy. There might be more here. We've just seen 4 angry men eliminated completely inside of 10 minutes of match 2.
4 a.m. ran right into W-Click in a 2-2 split. So W-Click once again finding themselves in the right place at the right time to pick up points.
Sting Divine lose 1, but it feels like that could have been a whole another world of nasty, and it might still be. Silza knocked down onto Levi's. If he makes it inside of the building, should be revived safely. W-Click are holding a decent position. 2-2 split, 2 in the fields, 2 holding the high ground. They can get a lot of information here of the entire North Georgia Paul area. I like their split for this game. W-Click continue to impress.
Great split coming out.
What
now
is
look at
going
this
on?
phase. Finally making their way into South George,
no.
but they're getting shot down by Red Cannons, and that's going to be Uba going down early as the rest of the phase game.
Run him over.
Fuzzface now. Oh, this is dangerous.
Roadkill for Rusty Zera and Psycho. Fuzzface might be next if he's not careful. Although the bridge, that still is being camped by AHQ. Milk knocked down onto Raspu. Andy gets by, but of course there's still 2 more members of Red Cannons to make it over the bridge. They've lost 1. Andy's going to stay, try and help out, put a bit of pressure onto AHQ. The elimination onto Raspu is successful. Milk continues, but he's not in the best position for this one onto Rusty Zera and Psycho.
Take a few shots, though, as Red Cannons will regroup as 3. FaZe now is at left with 3, and they're making their way through crates right now, trying to figure out how they're going to get across here as everybody, I think they're the last one.
Am I wrong in thinking that if you're going to hold that bridge, you probably can use all your members of AHQ there rather than just Milk? If you're going to do it properly.
You know, it's definitely worth argument here as AHQ. They have a guy off to the north and a guy off to the south in Milk, and 2 in the middle that are really not doing much of anything here. So
5 seconds till phase 3. I won't lie, I want this Zaki circle, Poro. Do we get it? Oh, yes, we do!
You gotta believe, baby.
Well, kind of. It's as best as you're gonna get. I'm telling you right now. I'll take it. It counts. Zampa eliminated. And we've got some fun times to come here for match number 2. Although for the players, I don't know if they're too happy with this.
This is definitely going to be interesting. Well, the most important part about this circle is that it's cutting out the hillside just to the east of those North Georgia Bowl fields. So that's usually where we see these games kind of end up, in those hills, and that's what everybody's kind of used to. So now this thing cutting a little bit farther west, ooh, it's going to be interesting. Sunsets are in a great, great position right now.
It's a beautiful sight to see. I won't lie. I'm almost in tears. A freak of freaks coming up very, very north. They'll be crashing the Zaki Beach. Never said that one before. Levi spots Psycho pushing through for Red Cannons out of North Georgia Pool, which is not even inside of the circle anymore. Levi's though with a decent spray. Oh, Sting Divine are able to get a bit of help from Nikki, of course, and that's going to get Andy knocked down. Rybo's knocked down by Yan Lee. Space fighting 1-2. Bully pushing up to GEX. Oh, Tempo Storm crushed by GEX, who are up to 4 kills. 3 players remaining.
Look at Ghost now coming over the top, though. They might be able to clean up off of what's left of this GEX and Tempo Storm fight, but GEX looks like they're already back to full health, and it's Sophia. Oh, no, actually, no, it wasn't going to be shots from top.
Shots from FaZe. It was
yeah.
shots from FaZe in North Georgia Pool, who have only just made it to North Georgia Pool from South Georgia Pool. GEX are going to get on the move. They've got a minute and a half to head over to Zaki, which is where Vendetta have actually crash landed, along with QM.
Look at a Freak of Freaks Fatal. They got in the boat, and they're coming in from the north side, too. This is making for some interesting rotation paths, this circle.
GEX leaving the area of Ghost Gaming. They're getting shot at by AHQ. And Lee over at the fields, SR and Milk holding the apartments at North Georgia Bowl, but only for now. They're going to have to move. T1 haven't even moved at all yet. Guys, that blue zone's coming in pretty quickly now on the eastern side as well. 55 seconds. There's Luke 12, an uncivil spot. TSM pushing towards their compound.
They spotted Michael. I don't think they realized, though, that the rest of the TSM squad is just underneath them, well within grenade range, but Luke 12 might give them some kind of idea here as we see Ghost try to crash into the north side. They're going to find Yan Lee, and he's going to go down. This is that AHQ split we were talking about a little bit earlier, maybe a little bit too ambitious.
FaZe are also getting involved in this behind AHQ. Maxi finds a knockdown onto Milk. Sophia is actually behind FaZe as well for GEX. Don't know how he got there. It's AHQ getting torn to shreds. 80 finds an elimination. Gustav will take out Luke 12, who was a bit uncareful at this compound. You mentioned it before. They didn't know that Gustav and Iroh had actually pushed up so close here for TSM. FaZe 4. Oh, Mexi spotted from behind. Sophia with a knockdown. Getting a Fuzz face as well from inside of the smoke. Drassel lands a decent tag, and that blue zone is starting to hurt. Should be able to get off the first aid kit, but AHQ eliminated. Fast FaZe goes down to the blue. It's only Mexi that is actually standing for FaZe Clan. Of course, the circle came south towards the fields, as we suspected it was always going to do because of the water.
Yeah, Ghost actually crashing the compound was a great, great call on their part. They put themselves in a good position to really feed off of this, and that's GEX going down. FaZe, rather Sophia, going to be the last one up. He's going to take the shots at Mexi. No, that's not going to be enough.
Down. But he's out of time here. He can't even get off the first aid kit. No! FaZe! Another poor performance for FaZe. Only 4 points gained from the first 2 games today.
It's going to be tough to rally from this one, but TSM still 4 strong, still on this northeastern side. They've cleared out Lazarus. Lazarus is done. See, they have a nice little angle onto QM. A few shots being taken their way. W-Click still in a great spot as well. They've got the 2-2 split.
They haven't moved.
Yeah, they've been holding this 2-2 split for quite some time, and it is paying off great dividends for them right now.
Allen knocked out along with a catch from T1, pushing over towards Sun Sisters compound. They stopped them immediately before even Adder and Jeff Locker even thought about coming over. Still holding the extended fields, and now we're going to see Jeff Locker knocked down by Harold. W-Click, we've got a lot of vision of this zone, and I mean a lot of vision of this zone. So don't be surprised to see them in the kill feed, getting knocks, getting kills. As Harold tries to finish off Jeff Locker, the smoke from Adder. Successful for now, but all it takes is one stray bullet. Adder's going to be able to get the revive on a Jeff Locker for T1, who are now the last 2 alive for the Korean team. Sun Sister putting in a decent performance so far on the final day of the semifinals. 3 kills, 4 alive. Just inside of the circle, and now looking to finish off T1, who have got to cross this road. It's going to be deadly. Suspecting that they will eventually fall here, either to the arms of W-Click or to Sun Sister.
Yeah, T1 in a really rough position right now, as you said. But a few other fights still kind of breaking off. We have Vendetta and AFF off to the
I want a north shift here, Poro.
Yeah, this is going to be it's going to be crazy depending on where it decides to go from here, because we have fights that are about to break off in pretty much every part of the circle.
And Vendetta's going to be aggressive here because they've got the knockdown. Now you've got an advantage. You also have the information on a Freak of Freaks. There goes T1 as suspected to Sun Sister. But for Vendetta, they will indeed push. Edge finds the elimination flush onto Shadow. We are going to see him knocked down, though, by NN before he also got Lambu, though. So 2-for-1 trade between Vendetta and a Freak of Freaks. W-Click still using that high ground advantage for the teams such as Ghost Gaming and Sting Divine at the south side of the circle. McCoy with the nade, but Ghost Gaming in a tough position here because they got eyes from Sting Divine and W-Click here on this position.
Ghost has been wanting to push this for so long now, but they've been held at bay by the one Levi's from Sting Divine and the W-Click gang. It looks like W-Click might be aware of Levi's presence now as Ghost trying to make a push.
Silson and Ragnar with a high ground, keeping an eye on this. Smokes are buying a bit of space for Ghost Gaming as they push on the Turtle and Nikki. That's the important danger in front of him. Tags landing onto Drassel. He's very low, has to now heal. They've got time. They are inside of the circle. We get a center circle for phase 5.
Oh, that's a good grenade.
There's a lot of open space in this circle. A lot of dead space. As you said, McCoy's nade found Turtle. Nicky's in a horrible spot. 4 health. One final nade. Will it be one from the grave? Got the knockdown onto McCoy. Any more from the nade that he threw out earlier? No, not to be. Vegas now turns his attention to W-Click. As Gustav knocked down by Easy. QM and TSM up north get into a tangle. Rory and Iroh, the last two alive for TSM, as McCoy getting revived for Ghost Gaming. But W-Click are the next boss in this fight here for Ghost Gaming.
I mean, that was so huge from Vegas, though. That leaving him behind as an anchor has kind of pushed W-Click back. It kept them from focusing their fire down onto Ghost and finishing off any flushes that might have happened. You can see Levi's now the last remaining player up for SDV. W-Click knows he's there, but what are they going to do? I mean, they've got it. They're full focus on Ghost here. Good shots coming out from Ghost, though, to push them back using the smokes. I gotta wonder how much utility they have left as they have used so much smoke just to get over here.
W-Click are inside of the zone. Levi's now a matter of time before Ghost Gaming probably trample all over him. If they actually push past Levi's without realizing his position, he could be the thorn in the backside that stands up. Oh, he spots them. Oh, look at the trigger discipline, though, from Levi's to not take these shots early. Wants to make sure that everyone goes past him first. If he has to take shots, it's only to defend his life rather than being aggressive. He knows that Ghost are pushing up this hill to go and take the fight with W-Click. So he knows that GG have got, obviously, further things on their mind here other than trying to find Levi's.
I mean, it's insane that Ghost has been able to push this far up on a W-Click. They've been doing such a good job of turning and pushing the heads back as soon as they peek.
Underarm.
They're getting shot at here. Silson, what can he do with this grenade? The underarm is going to come through.
No.
Doesn't look like it's going to land where it needs to.
He's tossing a turn into an underarm to overthrow. He needed to underarm that because Ghost Gaming were much closer. Levi starts to creep up, essentially becoming a part of Ghost Gaming, whether they like it or not. Rybo with the elimination onto Vegas. Ghost Gaming pushing up to take the fight with W-Click, but it's not looking good. Shrimsy, Drassel both knocked down. Only McCoy remains, and Levi's is still there. He hasn't even gotten involved at all. Ragnar finds 3 for W-Click. But it's not over yet for them because Levi's is transcending up this mountain towards the gunfire, only to realize that Ghost Gaming are gone and only W-Click remains.
What a clutch flank from Ragnar coming out there. I mean, he came through at exactly the right time, and that was huge for the W-Click boys as they're going to go ahead and they're going to start being the ones who are starting to farm points here in this lobby.
Phase 6 over to Sun Sister. QM north of them. A Freak of Freaks inside of the circle on the south side near these fields. Red Canids and Vendetta both going to have to cross over from the west, and of course down south we've got W-Click, although they've still got the infiltrating Levi's, who they haven't quite flushed out yet. But remember, W-Click knew that Levi's was hanging around that mountain range earlier. I think that they will keep that in the back of their mind here as they try and push out. Rybo's just going to get in the vehicle. W-Click somehow still with 4 alive. Hard to believe, but for how much longer? Maybe I've jinxed them. A Freak of Freaks spotting them pushing down this hill. Spray from Style. Couple of tags landing here. Harold very low. Ragnar held back though at the top of the mountain. He's giving them Overwatch. He's able to land a tag back Afrika have only got 3, so if one goes prone, then there's only 2 eyes to W-Click. They've still got the numbers here, so they can start to push forward.
Oh! It's a good nade from NN. He's going to find one with it. Rybo has been taken down. The rest of the... But AFF has to turn their attention back over because they're going to get a couple of downs. Vendetta now coming alive. They're going to find the red cannons, boys. It's down to just Rusty Zera for that squad.
Levi's is about to walk into Ragnar here on the top of this mountain. Don't forget about him. He's still up. NN holding a very aggressive position here for Afrika Freaks. Ragnar finally knocked down, but it's critical motion. I think he'll get stolen by Levi's, though. Still pushing up, still being silent, and he does steal the kill indeed. Does give away his position for Sting Divine to the rest of W-Click. He'll get that information from Ragnar. Harold low, crawling towards the smokes. They've got the rock there as well. Levi's gets involved. Spots Icon at the tree. Tag from Non-Red. 64 health. No nades for Levi's to throw down towards W-Click. Although he's already done an impressive job. Non-Red's finished off by Rusty Zera. Crit needs to deal with him, but he's only got the 2 times on the SLR. It's not ideal, but it doesn't matter for critical motion. Sends Red Canids out in 8th position, and now Style and the rest of Afrika want to deal with W-Click.
It's also worth noting that all these teams that are left right now are all teams that are in the bottom part of the leaderboard. These are all teams that need points. So this is going to do nothing but just push that point total up. You can see where we're standing right now as far as live standings for today. But overall, these are the guys that are kind of fighting for their spot here in Oakland.
North side is quiet. Crit knocked down. Icon is all that remains for Vendetta. That's NN again from that aggressive position. He's got Style to help out. Style is dealing with W-Click. Levi's now pushing in. You can't forget about Levi's, who has just been the silent assassin pushing along the back lines, and there goes W-Click. In the end, Style picks up the double onto Silzen and Harold. Icon with a nade from inside of the smoke. Crit's going to bleed out. He's going to get spotted at the left side of that smoke. Flushed and finished by NN. Afrika Freaks fatal up to 7 kills. From the bottom 4 to start the day, Poro, they're making the climb out of the bottom 8 to try and get into the top 24. Gabba knocked down and finished by Style. Oh, he's styling on everyone right now in match 2.
Huge day so far for AFF. Can they keep it going? Right now, they need as many points as they can get because they had, as you said, a rough day number 1. But QM, Sun Sister, both of these teams also in desperate need of every single point they can get. You can see STV still alive. Levi's still alive for Sting Divine here. And we got one more solo for Gex in the south part of the circle.
QM with 4 alive. They've got the numbers. 3 kills. Spots Sun Sister. Kandesu wanting to get the revive on a Fear Chan instead of being a solo. You'd be much more happier as a duo. And we'll risk it for a biscuit. Some vehicles in here as well. And starts to get the res. Levi spots Style. Gets behind the rock to his right side. It's NN! Afrika Freaks! Working as a tandem duo perfectly. Will finally flush out Sting Divine's Levi's, who I've got to say, give him an A+ for that performance here for match 2 as a solo for that long.
Absolutely A+ for effort here as we see the Sun Sister boys snaking through just on the north side of the road. I think Wu Fang has a pretty good idea that they might be over there. The grenade's going to come out. It's not going to be far enough, though. Kandesu and Fian Chen trying to figure out how they want to approach this circle. QM is just completely concerned with them. They haven't even looked over AFF's way yet.
Shy Wei still alive for GEX as well in those fields as we are 37 seconds away from phase 8. Sun Sister doing a decent job of trying to just stay alive and dealing with QM. There is Shy Wei from GEX. Of course, Afrika Freaks holding the south side of the circle. They've got all eyes on what's happening north of them from QM and Sun Sister. They don't know that Shy Wei is down south behind them. They have no idea.
I mean, this is huge for all of these teams. As you can see, the leaderboard's on your left right there. Here goes Sun Sister trying to make something happen. Fiashan's going to go down. Kandesu gets taken to almost no health, and he's just going to have to lie prone. Who's going to end up picking him up?
Hello? NN? Crossing the road, that's how aggressive Afrika Freaks have been playing in this game. He gets the knockdown onto easy. 3 more remain to QM. Afrika Freaks have been the freaky ones in this game. They don't care who they have to take down. QM now have got a new entry to deal with in terms of an opponent. Kandesu's still alive. Shy Wei as well as solos. They can get involved here if they start to push up. But Kandesu, it's time to move, buddy.
Styles just peeking through that scope, seeing if he can spot any type of head, any type of body part, just take any shot at all. Is now Xiao Wei.
Oh boy.
Oh, he's made it. He's still alive. Shy Wei gonna screw around and win this game. You watch. I'm calling it right now. They got 6 kills on GEX right now.
I got no idea who's going to win this game right now.
I'm calling it.
QM's got the numbers. Afrika have just been doing freakish things. Shy Wei is, as you said, in a great position. Kindesu's probably the least likely from his current spot. Well, there you go. Yeah. Taken out by Easy. That's one less contestant to deal with in this Battle Royale. Styles got no idea.
He has not looked south in probably 20 minutes. He has no idea that Shy Wei just ran across a wide open field to get prone right behind him.
And up close and personal with QM. He backs himself even. Oh, never mind. Easy spots him. Now Style is essentially in a 1 versus 4, and Shy Wei is not going to be his friend here. QM
not at all.
With the numbers and now with the advantage to win this game. Style cannot help out NN. Can he get GYY though? Or one member of QM to maybe bring them down to 3. He spots GYY through the trees.
Oh no, hit the dirt on the top of the little hill there.
Got him to half health, but he gives away his position. That's the downside. And Shy Wei gets confirmation of Styles' position as well. You've got to remember, Shy Wei hasn't got a lot of information here in terms of what's a 4v1.
Well, that's a good view of what we're looking at there. You see the center of this final circle is pretty much on the middle of the road, and that's going to be Style going down. Shy Wei sneaking his way to a 2nd place finish for his team. He gets another 7 kills. What can he get here? He's going to go ahead and die to blue.
Just do it. Yep. Smart play from Shy Wei. QM get the win. 6 kills.